Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to start my second bullet journal or dot journal. This is my first one and it's to kind of keep track of all the books I'm reading. I have 4 sections in this one. I have the series I'm reading and I'll just show you. I still have quite a few series to put in there, especially the ones that I'm starting this year. But as I'm finishing books, I'm coloring it in and I'm keeping like one series all the same colors. So then the second one is my monthly TBR. So I write down the books and then as I read them, I color them in. And then this is all the books I've read in 2018. And I keep a running tab of all the pages. So I've added that like a column here at the end and I'm writing all the pages. And then these are the 100 books that I'd like to pick from this year. Now I haven't finished writing the list, but I'll keep writing as I find books that I want to read this year. And then from my 85 books, I'm going to pick 60 from this list. So then it gives me a little bit of still choices. Now I wanted to do another one, actually a couple more. This one here I got on Amazon. Actually, both of them I got on Amazon. And if you can tell, this one has a white base and this one has a cream base. I mean, I just like the cover because it was all coffee cups, different kinds of coffees. So that's why I got this one. And the difference is this one has numbered pages at the bottom and this one doesn't. But that's okay because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a washi tape at the end of the page so I'll be able to tell where my sections begin. Now this one I'm going to make 3 sections and I'm going to have like more than one thing on a page because a lot of this stuff, it's not going to take a lot of room to kind of keep track. So I'm going to make it that. I'm going to make a section for my books and then I'm going to put all my goals. Like I just put a few here, but I'm going to go look at my goals and see. But I know I want to start 15 series, that I want to finish 10 this year, that I wanted to read 10 books that were over 500 pages. And there's a couple more, so I'll put them in there. And then for scrapbooking, I want to journal on 10 pages a week, put away 10 pages, scrap 150 pages, and do 6 classes. So I'm going to keep a track of those goals. And then for my personal one, so that'll be my 3rd section, I want to exercise 4 times a week, lose 20 pounds. I want to put away, you know, some personal stuff. So put money away and then pay off some stuff. And so that's what I'm going to work on now. So now I'm going to put you on fast forward. I just picked a few washi tapes. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to put at the end of the page, but that's what I'm going to do. It'll probably be those 3. They look really good together. So I think that's the 3 I'm going to do. I just decided, yeah, those 3. So I'm going to put the others to the side and I'm going to divide my 3 sections. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my sections. Like I said, I'm going to divide it in 3 sections and I'm going to use the 3 washi tape that I decided to use. Now this first one here, I know we keep saying that, you know, if we have washi tapes, they'll last forever and, you know, there's so much on a roll. But I've had quite a few rolls lately and I've seen a few people having trouble with their washi tape where it sticks so bad to each other that every time you start peeling it off the roll that it rips apart. So it did that for the first few times, and then as you can tell here, this is fast forward times 4 and it still looks like I'm going at snail pace. And it's because as soon as I tried to go a little fast, it was ripping off. So at the end of the pages there's little dots because, you know, they're called dot journals or bullet journals, and so I'm using those dots at the very end, the very last dot, and to make my washi tape as straight as possible. Then I flip my book around and then I fold it up and make sure that it goes right up against the page. Now, as you can tell, the next washi tape, I had no problems at all. And that washi tape, I just got it in December, so it's brand new. So I'm thinking, you know, the older our washi tape is getting, it's going to stick to each other. So still usable, but you have to be very slow when you use it. And this one here is also a new washi tape, and as you can tell, I had no trouble. It just came right off the roll. And I eyeballed my section, but I think I did a pretty good job, because when I look at it, they look like they're pretty close to having the same amount of pages per section. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be for my goals. So all my goals, not just my personal goals, but my goals for my scrapbooking and my goals for my reading books. So I'm going to take some stickers, and these ones are from Amy Tangerine. I love these stickers, but before I started working in my bullet journal, my dot journal, a lot of these Amy Tangerine stickers were not even used. So one thing it's doing for me to use these is I'm using quite a bit of stuff that I haven't used in a long time or didn't use at all. And one of them is those stickers. And I think it's just because I'd never thought of them, because I like using my thickers and my tiny stickers. And those are sitting in a drawer, you know, like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And so it's good that I'm getting to use these up. Now, these are stickers from Simple Story Romance, and that's a brand new collection also that I just got in December. And I've done 3 layouts with it already, and I've worked on both my bullet journals. So yay. My huge sticker sheet, the 12 by 12, is almost all used up. So that thing did not go to waste. You know, I bought a new collection, but it didn't sit on my shelf not used. I'm going to end up using most of it in the first month that I got it. So I'm just going to write goals. I used a few stickers. I made sure to overlay them. And then again, I'm using my quick dry adhesive in my fine line bottle. And I'm gluing all the stickers down, because this is going to get a lot of use. It's not like my 12 by 12 page that sits, you know, in my album not getting used. This is going to be flipped and, you know, flipped open and going from page to page. So I want to make sure that everything is glued down. And then I use some little tiny stickers, and I just put Git-R-Done, because you know what? Goals is stuff that you have to get done. So just Git-R-Done. So this specific bullet journal will be done in 2 different videos, because the video is going to be almost an hour long, and that's just way too long. I even find like 34 minutes is a long time, but I just need to get it uploaded, and then you know, I can move on to something else. I just get really obsessed with stuff. And right now, this is what I'm obsessed with, is my dot journal. And plus, you know, we're still in January, so I want to make sure that my goals are down, and I can keep, you know, start keeping track of them right from the beginning and not be 2 months into it. So I'm making sure, I made sure that my goals one was the first one that is done. And I've completely finished it. Now I just got to keep track of my stuff. And then my next one is my TV show thing. And that will be an ongoing thing, because I'm watching so many TV shows right now. And and that one won't be as fancy. It'll probably just be the first page that is just like, I'll decorate it. And then after that, you know, it'll just be keeping track, and I'll show you how to do that. But that's probably going to be a you know, 15-20 minute video, and I'll share it with you. So this here is a new stamp set, and I had a new company contact me, and they send me some stuff, and I'll be sharing that really soon, you know, everything they sent to me. But look at that stamp set. It is freaking amazing. It's all about books. And the company is called Finders Keepers, and I'll link them down below, but I'll do like a an unboxing and everything in the next couple days, so you'll get to see everything that they sent me. But I just needed to use that stamp set on this layout because there's like a border one, and it says books, books, books all over, and oh my goodness, it's so stinking cute. So I just stamped the background where it says books all over, and then I'm going to use those Amy Tangerine stickers again. And this section is going to be about my bookish goals. So I tried to put the letters, in a nice straight order, but it was going beyond where I stamped books, 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 and I didn't want that. So then that's why I kind of made them so that we're kind of separated. Now another stamp set that is in this stamp set pack is this open book. How cute is that? So I'm going to use some Hero Arts ink, and I'm going to stamp that open book. Perfect for my section about books, right? And then I'm looking to see what else I can do with that, and I'm just going to end up grabbing another stamp set that they sent me, and one of the little stamps that it says read a book. So I'm going to stamp in all different colors, read a book. And while I'm doing that, I just want to tell you that, yes, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that they sent me. And then also, I'll be using their stamp sets and everything that they sent me to do a couple of layouts. So that'll be coming up really shortly in the next, week or two. But I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't help myself. I had to use it with this bullet journal because it was all about books, so I had to do it. So I'm just going through all my inks, and I'm trying to find, 3 or 4 colors or 5 colors that I want to use. And I find this little yellow ink, and it was way too light. You couldn't even see it. So I went back in my stash and found another yellow from Hero Arts, and I'm just going to stamp read a book all over the page. And sorry, I'm out of frame there. With all those ink pads, I didn't realize I was out of frame, but I'll probably move those up in a second, and then you'll be able to see what I did. Okay, so I just cut out the section where I was cleaning up, and there, just before this, I showed you what it looked like. I just kind of stamped read a book all over the place, and then I stamped a book. Now my other section, my next page, is I'm going to do a place where I can keep track of, one of my goals is to start 15 book series this year. And I'm going to use some stamp sets. That's another thing that I find that by using this, it's getting me to go into my stamp sets and to use them. So this is by Lawn Fawn. It's called Milo, and it's a cute little alpha, and it's perfect for scrapbooking because, it's nice and like thin letters. And so I'm going to use some ink, and I'm just going to write or stamp start 15 series. Now you might think, why would you want to keep track of that stuff? It's stuff that I was keeping track of anyway, like at the end of my agendas and that kind of stuff. I would just scribble 15 series, and then I would write down if I start a new series in a month, I would write down that series. And then at the end of the year last year, I was able to quickly look and say, okay, well, I need to finish one more series before the end of the year, and, start one more series, let's say. So in the month of December, I knew that I had 3 books that I had to specifically read in order to meet all my goals, all my bookish goals that I made for last year. And I'm just a type of person, I guess, that when I make a goal, in order for it to be tangible, like for it to be real, I need it to be written down, and I keep track of it. And even like bookish goals, because years ago I used to be a huge reader. I used to read all the time, and when I was a kid, so really long ago. And my mom used to get mad at me, you know, because I would stay up late at night. I'd be the kid with the, you know, the little flashlight trying to read, or once I knew that they were asleep, I'd turn my light back on and I'd read till, you know, really late in the night, especially as a teenager. And, you know, I'd start a book and finish it that night kind of thing. And, you know, I would go to the library and take 6 books out, and then they'd be gone, all read within, you know, a few days. And then as I got into, you know, young adult and that kind of stuff, I stopped reading. And then I started again once my kids were really young. And then when they got to be a little older, I kind of stopped reading. And then just a couple years ago now, I said, you know what? You got to start reading again, because you really enjoyed that. And I really am. I'm really enjoying it. And I love just keeping track of what I'm reading. So at the top here, I put start 15 series, and I put 2018. And the reason I put 2018 is because that bullet journal, instead of just putting it, you know, in a little notebook and then the year after I write it down somewhere else, I'm going to be able to keep it all in this one bullet journal. And I figured I can probably do 4 years in one bullet journal. So there's the way I divided it, I should be able to get at least 4 years, if not more. Oh yeah, I can probably get 5 or 6 years out of this one bullet journal. So it'll be just nice to see, you know, like 5 or 6 years from now, just to go back and just see the books that I'm reading. So what I did is I put, you know, I put start 15 series, and then I did a little sticker embellishment cluster right next to it. And then underneath I put 1 to 15. And then I started writing down the series that I've already started reading in 2018. And then I'm not going to put 2018 on any other pages until I start 2019. And then at the top of the next year, then I'll put 2019. And then the next one below that, I put finish 10 series. And then again, I put a cluster of stickers. And this time I put it to the left. And then under that, I'm going to write the series, but I like to have it even more visual than that. So eventually you'll see I'm going to take out my ruler, and I'm going to make little squares, and that I'll be able to color in. So not only am I going to write down the series that I'm reading, I'm going to have little squares that I can color in as I'm finishing or starting series, so that I can, you know, kind of see my goal coming to see, you see my little finger going there. I gotta do a little square here, and so that I can color in, because I like to scratch things off or do a check mark, you know, something like that. So I figured I have these friction pens, and they're awesome. They're perfect for these bullet journals. And so I can color them in as I'm completing my goals. And these dot journals are just perfect because you have the little dots, so you have something to guide yourself to make sure that your lines are straight. And then the squares make it so that it's a perfect little, the dots make it so that you can make a perfect little square, and that you can color them in. So these are the pens I was talking about. They're called Friction Colors, and I got them on Amazon, and they weren't that expensive. I think they were like, I bought them so long ago, probably, it was under $20, but I think it was like between 10 and 15. And the first dot journal that I bought, I've had forever. I went back on Amazon to see when I had purchased it. I had purchased it last April. So in a few months, it would be a year since I've had the blue one, the one where I put my goals, not my goals, but keeping tracks of all the books that I'm reading. That one there, I bought it last April. So it was high time for me to use them. Now, one of my goals for this year was actually to, you know, get these dot journals going. So I have one more left, and that will be one of my goals that I had made for this year that will be done, which is awesome. So on the next page, I grabbed another little stamp set that I have, and again, it's numbers and letters. And these ones here, they're kind of, they remind me of the mini markets actually. And so I'm just changing the letters and using some different ink colors. And I'm going to do 10 books, and then with my pen, I'm going to make the sign for greater than 500 pages. And what I'm doing is every word I'm changing the color. And one thing I did throughout this book too is every time I'm doing numbers, I'm using a gray color, so that as I'm looking through my book, if I want to know how many, books I got to read or that kind of stuff, they're always going to be stamped in gray. So that makes it easier for me, for my eye to find whatever I'm looking for. And then the words are in different colors. So this first section here, I decided on, a few colors, and I'm going to stick with it. And how I chose the colors was in my washi tape. My washi tape had some blue, some pink, yellow, and gray, and those are the colors I'm going to use for this section. So I'm using those 5 colors, and then I'm doing the greater sign right there, and then I'm going to do a little sticker cluster. And again, whenever I use stickers, I make sure to use my quick dry adhesive, and I'm glue it right down. One thing I do is I do my little cluster. Well, I didn't do it for this time because I didn't think I was going to put anything else on there. But all the other ones, if you see, I do my little cluster, and then I pick up the whole cluster, and then I put my quick dry adhesive. Because if I put glue at every section, and if I want to move my stickers, I'm unable to do it. So I kind of do my little cluster, and then I glue it down. So that is that one there, and I'm going to use my ruler again. And that ruler too, I used it on Amazon. I was going to do my little box on that side, but I flipped my page over, and I could tell that on the other side of the page, that's where my box was. So I figured as I'm, coloring it in, you're going to be able to see it on this side, and I didn't want my box to interfere with that. So now I'm going to write down my numbers from 1 to 10 right away, so then I know exactly where I can start my next section. So my next section, I'm going to make it about the number of books that I want to read this year. This year I made a goal on Goodreads to read 85 books. Now, if you're on Goodreads, find me on Goodreads, and we can be friends on Goodreads. And I just track all my books there. I love that. I love that you're able to, make shelves, and you track your books, and your reading challenge is there, and how many. I already know that I'm 4 books ahead in my challenge as of today. Which today, I don't even know what day we are today. Isn't that awful? Today's January 22nd. And as of today, I'm 4 books ahead, and I've read 8 books. And did I color 8 in here already? Yes, I finished a book yesterday, but probably in this video, I'll just color in 7, because at that point I had read 7 books. And I'm probably going to finish another book today. I'm starting January with a bang. I kind of had a reading slump from October, November, December. I think as soon as I got close to my goal, because last year I made a goal of 80 books, and I kind of went relaxed. But it also didn't help that I read a book that I was totally not interested in, and it put me in the worst reading slump. And the funny thing is, it's actually a lot of people's favorite book, and I just could not get into it. And that is Gone Girl with Gillian Flynn. To me, it was so predictable. I predicted the entire book. I was like, oh, that's so predictable. And then the end, I was like, seriously? But it was okay. I found it really predictable. And maybe it's because it was so hyped. And then I was like, why is this so hyped? I don't get it. But anyway, it was okay. And if it's your favorite book, I'm sorry, but that's just how, I felt. I don't know if I wasn't in the mood for it. I don't know. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but I just wasn't, it put me in a reading slump. So then I think I was at almost 80 books in October, and I finished with 90 by December. So I read 5 books per month, which sounds like a lot, but all the rest of the year I was reading between 8 to 9 books per month. So this year, one of my goals is to read more than one book at a time, so that if I am in a slump, then I can say, or not in a slump, but if the book doesn't interest me, I can say, okay, well, at least read 30 pages in that book, and then you can read the other book that you're enjoying more. And then eventually I'll get that book done, because I'm not one to DNF a book. I really want to give it a shot. So then that way I can, read one book and then say, okay, just 30 pages, just get the 30 pages done, and then you can read something that you're enjoying. But I have to say, this up to now this year, I've really enjoyed all the books that I'm reading. Like I said, today will be book number 9 that I'm completing. So I did my little squares, and basically I did 8 across and 10 down. So then it made it easy to make it 80, and then I did 5 on the side there. So the next one, what I'm going to do is, I didn't want to do the books anymore. I wanted to do a scrappy one. So I went to the next section, and I'm going to work on my main page. And I think that's what it was. I was just kind of getting tired of stamping, with the little letters and doing the little squares. So I want to do something different, although I didn't want to stop, because these things are addictive. They are so much fun. So I'm going to do my little title here, and it's going to say Scrappy Goals. And I'm using those Amy Tangerine stickers. So where this was my scrappy section, I thought it'd be great to find a stamp set that was, scrapbooking related, so with a camera. And I went into my stash and found this stamp set from Stampin' Up. And it's quite old. I've had it for a few years, and for some reason the back of it is not sticky anymore. I can't get it to stick to a block, and that's fine. I know I have a block somewhere where it's quite sticky, so I'll be able to stick to that, but I didn't know where it was right this second, and I had already wasted enough time finding that stamp set, although it was right there in front of my eyes and I didn't see it for a few minutes. And then right underneath that, I'm going to take my stickers again from the collection from Simple Stories Romance, and I'm going to make 3 little blocks at the bottom, and then I'm just going to lay a few stickers right over top, and then that'll be that section done. And one of the stickers that I decided to put on there says, "You stole my heart," and that is so true for scrapbooking. That's one thing that, it's almost 20 years since I started scrapbooking, and I love it just as much, or if not more, than I did 20 years ago. There's hardly a day that goes by that I don't scrapbook, or at least go in my room and do something scrappy related. Although this, like I said, this is not really scrapbooking, but it's still keeping track of memories, right? It's stuff that means something to me right now. So I'm still keeping sort of a record of things that I loved. So this page here, I'm going to make it about how many pages that I want to get done this year. And at first I'm going to take a few stickers, and I'm going to do a little cluster to the left. And then I'm going to stamp out scrap 150 pages in 2018. And this is what I meant. You see how I did my little cluster, And then I picked it up and I put my quick dry adhesive. Again, I'm using the stamp set from Lawn Fawn Milo. I just love that little stamp set. And it's perfect for this bullet journal, but it's also great, you know, for in your scrapbooks. It's just the perfect little size. So I want to scrap 150 pages in 2018. Actually, on the side of it, on the side of my box, I'm going to write down YouTube, because that's the number of pages that I want to get done on YouTube. Because I also do some classes, and this year I plan on doing 6, and usually I do 15 pages in a class. So, you know, that's times 6, that's, you know, 80 pages. And so that's another 80 pages on top of that, and then I do a bonus video, so it's actually like 86. And then I go to about 3 crops, and I do between 10 and 20 pages a crop. So that's another, you know, 30 to 60 pages. So I probably do closer, I'll probably do closer to 300 pages this year, which I'll find other ways to kind of keep track of. But for YouTube, I want to do 150 pages, which is 3 videos a week for the whole year, which ends up being like 156. So right underneath my title, I'm going to do a little grid, and I'm doing 15 across and 10 down, and that'll be my 150. And then that'll complete the video for today. And then next time I'm going to finish my scrappy goals. Actually, I'm going to finish everything. I have a couple more scrappy goals, or one more scrappy goal, and then my life goals, and then I finish off also my bookish goals. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's kind of different, but it's nice. A lot of people are doing bullet journals. I just decided to do mine a little bit more scrapbooking style and less with papers and or pens and doodling. So that's it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up and maybe leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.